It's time for answers to your medical questions. And get an inside look at the latest in healthcare, medical technology, and treatments. This is Rex on Call. Don't wait until New Year's Day to make a change to your diet and exercise routine. Start now. Today on Rex on Call, we're talking about how to slim down those holiday dishes and stick with motivation get motivation to stick to an exercise routine all year long. Welcome to Rex on Call live on WRAL. I'm Kim Dean Holderness for Rex Healthcare. If you're watching us live now and you have questions about nutrition, exercise, and how to maintain and not gain through the holidays, give us a call at the number on your screen. Your question may be answered here live on our program by our Rex experts. Answering your questions are Diane Donkey, a registered dietitian, and Steve Wheelock, a wellness instructor, both with Rex Wellness Centers. Call us here at Rex on Call in Wake County. Call 919-744-3876. Outside of Wake County, toll free, 877-277-6252. If you're watching us as we're streaming live on WRAL.com, email us your questions to rexoncall@rexhealth.com. You can also find us on Twitter. We are everywhere. Send us a message at Rex Healthcare, #RexOnCall. So, perhaps you've never stepped foot in a gym before. Maybe you think you don't have time or you're not young enough. Well, let me provide you with your daily dose of inspiration. You're about to meet a man who started exercising 15 years ago when he was just 80 years old. Clinton Hawes hasn't always exercised. When he was 80, Clinton joined the Rex Wellness Center in Cary. Next summer, he'll be 95.
I just came 3 times a week like most people until I fell and broke my hip about 4 years ago. And since then, well, I've been coming 7 days a week.
That's right. Clinton is here exercising 7 days a week. Proof that it's never too late to start a healthy routine.
I became a vegetarian a few years ago because they live longer.
And I think it's really inspiring for people coming in. Here's this guy coming every day and staying healthy and strong. So if he can do it, anybody can do it.
Sherry Sampson is a wellness instructor and works with members to help find the ideal way to begin an exercise routine.
The machines are very user-friendly these days. So it's usually just a green button that says start and a red button that says stop, and the rest of it's pretty self-explanatory.
New members at the Wellness Center get a full assessment, evaluation, and personalized recommendations for fitness routines. And there's always encouragement along the way.
Saying, you can do this, just try it. And once they try it, they usually say, gosh, I wish I would have done this 10 years ago.
Clinton, like many, waited until he retired to start his exercise habit. Now he walks a quarter mile around the fitness center and uses weight machines every single day. Joining us now, Diane Donkey and Steve Wheelock. Now let's get started. First, there are some questions folks have about exercise. Is there such thing as being too old to exercise?
Absolutely not. We will accommodate from 2-year-old all the way up to 75, 85, 95, 105. It's something that there's never a moment that it's too late to start. Making changes can happen for any age.
Okay. And Diane, you brought some fun props here, and I have already learned just from looking at these. I think I was the most surprised about this. This is a sweet potato, and this is actually a serving of sweet potato?
It is 1 serving of sweet potato. A serving of starch should be about 100 calories, and that's how much sweet potato that is.
I have to tell you, I think of a sweet potato as a vegetable, and so I eat about 3 times this if I serve it to my family, and you're looking at me like I'm crazy, but I have to think that other people do the same thing.
Well, and we wouldn't say to you, don't have more than that at a meal. It's just realizing that more than that is more than 1 serving of starch. Most people would have a couple servings of starch, but not 4 or 5. So a whole sweet potato and a bunch of bread, a little bit too much starch.
Okay, and this, what is this?
Oh, this is so amazing.
It's
this
poison.
is poison, and this is the amount of sugar in a 12-ounce soda. It's about 11 to 12 teaspoons.
What?
11 to 12. And I tell people, would you stand at your kitchen sink and measure that out into a glass of water? Mix it up and drink it? No, we would not. And how much nutrition? 0.
Yes. Okay. Steve, now, exercise, there are ways to work it in to your daily habit. You brought some toys over there. You have that little, what's the little blue thing you have there?
This is just kind of an air-filled disc, and the idea behind it is it can be used for balance agility things, and I think one of our most neglected components of fitness is balance and agility. Some people will casually exercise, but what this does is it creates an unstable base that we need to make stable by using our core muscle groups, our postural muscle groups, abdominals, back muscles.
So what do you do with that?
For my people that sit in front of a computer all day long, you can use this as a tool to make an active posture. So for example, I put this on my computer chair. If I'm sitting into it, all of a sudden now my body has to stabilize, connect neuromuscularly and physically to keep a tall posture. If I begin to slouch, I'll notice that I'm slouching because it's a active posture.
I think I'm going to have to go get, is everybody else sitting up straight right now? Because I certainly am. I'm working on my posture.
Yep.
Okay, and those are little ways you can work exercise in.
Correct. And same thing with stretching. Sitting in front of your computer, if you're sitting at your desk for any longer than 1 hour, good opportunity to get up and kind of stretch a little bit. And we live the life of forward flexion, just a simple kind of standing up or putting your hands behind the head and extending the spine will help open the chest and shoulders.
Everybody else is very aware of their posture in the room right now. Okay, and you have some other fun toys here. What is that, Miss Diane?
Oh, this is shocking to so many people, but this is the volume of 1 pound of body fat.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
3,500 calories worth of fat.
Wow.
So when you lose one, it is a huge achievement.
Yeah, it
really
is a big accomplishment.
It's a big accomplishment.
And very gross. So,
very gross.
Yes.
So.
And what, our key is to help inspire people to maintain, not gain throughout the holidays.
Exactly.
So tell us, we have our models here. Do you think it's just because we're eating more, or we're eating the really sugary, fun holiday festive food?
Well, I think a strategy for the holidays is to not be super restrictive. It is a time to celebrate. So if you go to that party, the sugar's there. That's what the holidays are about, in part. But to approach those really high-test, high-calorie, high-fat foods in the smallest portion you can to get by, to enjoy it, so that you're not getting the full calories of the full slice of cake.
So you're not saying to swear it off. That's unrealistic.
No, it's not. And we know from research that if you restrict and deprive and really pull in, that there's probably going to be some kind of rebound eating. And so our catchword during the holidays is mindfulness. Just be mindful about the high-test things. Balance it with lots of vegetables so that you're getting smaller amounts of the really high-calorie foods. But enjoy the holiday.
Enjoy it. Okay.
You need to enjoy the holiday.
Okay, and real quick, people, they start January 1st, and the Wellness Center is going to be packed. What can they be doing now to gear up for that?
The same kind of philosophy that every little bit counts. The silliness of parking a car further away and taking elevators instead, stairs instead of elevators. Those tricks work, but if you're going to a big holiday party or something like that, it's almost the teeter-totter. I'm going to do a little exercise, and now I'm going to go to a party. I still can be conscious of what I'm eating, but I feel better maybe going into it because I'm aware of that health benefit of the aerobic or strength or whatever I've done.
Okay, so you don't have to wait until January 1st to start working out. Okay, we're back after the break to answer some of your questions. Give us a call or send us an email. Those numbers are on your screen. We'll be right back. This is Rex on Call. Welcome back. This is Rex on Call live on WRAL. Today we are answering your questions on healthy holiday habits, starting fitness and nutrition plans, and much more. If you have questions for our experts, call in now in Wake County 919-744-3876. Outside of Wake County, toll free 877-277-6252. We've got a lot of questions. Let's get right to it. So what is a meal plan for vegetarians that will help her feel full during the day?
One of the keys to fullness is adequate protein, so a lot of plant-based protein. Beans would be tofu. Would be great if you're not a vegan. You could do Greek yogurt and any protein from dairy sources, low-fat cheese as well.
Okay, so more. Addie, she's 70 years old and she wants to get rid of some belly fat. What are some foods that she should be avoiding?
There really are no foods that you should avoid to avoid belly fat. It's just moderation and weight loss.
Okay.
Could be the keys.
Yeah, so, and that is, I know that there are questions in this stack here about the paleo diet. Can you give me your theory on the paleo diet, which is right now, which is cutting out complex carbs? We have about 4 questions on those.
My big question about the paleo diet is, how do we really know what they ate? Those who have researched it have concluded we weren't there. So we don't know for sure what they ate. Paleo is imbalanced and there really is no solid science behind it.
Okay. Steve, this one's for you. This is from Susan in Raleigh. She has arthritis. Will exercise help or make it worse?
Caution on arthritis, but I think part of it is finding a personalized program that works for her. Movement is going to increase circulation, blood flow to the body. That could be good for her, but too much of it may inflame the arthritis. So making sure that she feels comfortable, and lots of times when we set up programs for people, we go off that less is more concept. That we'll ease into it, we'll try a very little and see how it works, and then every week or every couple weeks we'll progress accordingly.
Okay. This calls from Goldsboro. What can be done for sciatic nerve problem? Are there exercises that help with that?
Stretching is going to be a very important cue, and again, depending on how inflamed the person is with a sciatica, probably would be good to start with a doctor or a physical therapist first, and then kind of gradually work to us. But same thing, increasing circulation, blood flow, stretching, get up out of the chair that you're sitting in for long periods of times, driving for long periods of times could inflame that, and again, general movement should make it feel a little bit better.
Okay, and this is calls from Ann. What are good exercises for shoulder and neck stiffness?
I'll again piggyback on how often is this person stretching, and lots of times when we are seated, we are going to be in that forward flex position that will cause tension there. Basic strength exercises or range of motion exercises, and the trump card for most people is getting out and moving. But for our facilities, indoor pool. Get in the water. We have a therapy pool, 90 degrees. You don't have to be a swimmer to get the benefits of pool work, so that might be another good place to play.
Okay, that's great advice. Now, if you're looking for a doctor or need a direct referral, there's Rex Health Net, which is Rex's free telephone information service. The number is on your screen there. Not to be confused with the Rex on Call number, but you can call 919-784-4490 to get those direct referrals. And coming up next, we're cleaning up some holiday favorites. Your family won't even miss the calories, I promise. That's right after the break. And sure to be calling with your questions and use one of those numbers at the bottom of your screen, or email us your questions to rexoncall@rexhealth.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rex on Call live here on WRAL. To reach us here at Rex on Call today, you can call one of those numbers on your screen, and while you're sending in your questions, we had a chance to work with a team of Rex nutritionists to slim down some of your holiday favorites. Take a look. What are the holidays without food and lots of it? But today we are going to skinny up some of our favorite side dishes. So
yes, we're going to make a turkey dinner, but we're going to fill our plate half with veggies. Mary Gray's going to take care of some Brussels sprouts and asparagus for us. Jennifer's going to lighten up the sweet potatoes.
First up, roasted Brussels sprouts and asparagus with bacon.
So to start out, we've got our cleaned vegetables, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut our larger Brussels sprouts in half so that they cut evenly with the smaller sprouts. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our asparagus spears and we're going to cut the woody ends off of them. So just give them a good hack right here and toss those in as well. Then what we're going to do is drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil.
How much?
About a tablespoon and a half for the 2 pounds of veggies. We're going to sprinkle them with about a teaspoon of salt and then freshly ground pepper to taste.
So I see bacon here. Although I love bacon, but is that really going to skinny up this recipe?
Well, what we've done is we've just used 2 thick slices of bacon so that we've minimized the amount of fat that we're adding to it, but we're still giving it that decadent, smoky flavor.
Toss and then put on a foil-lined baking pan. Sprinkle with bacon. We can actually eat the bacon
This is more for flavor than anything else.
I thought you'd say that. This goes in the oven at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. Next up, we're roasting maple sweet potatoes with pecans.
And we're just going to cut them into cubes or bite-sized pieces just so that they cook evenly. And then once that is done, we're going to put them into our bowl.
Because your typical sweet potato casserole has a lot of cream and delicious
butter and brown
sugar
sugar and a lot of, and then sometimes topped with a topping of marshmallows or, you know, nuts and such. So we are going to keep some nuts in there, and we are going to add a little bit of some sweetness, but the roasting actually that we're going to do, this process is going to really enhance the sweetness, and so it's going to bring out those natural flavors and caramelization within the sweet potatoes.
Add maple syrup, a 1/4 cup of pecan pieces, cinnamon, chili powder, and a pinch of salt, and some cayenne pepper.
I love that combination of sweet and savory and that sweet heat that you get. So we're going to just toss all of this together, and they're just going to get coated and glisten and look gorgeous.
400 degrees for 45 minutes. Next, we're doing a pumpkin mousse parfait. Start with 2 cups of vanilla pudding.
And I'm going to fold in about half a cup of pureed pumpkin. You just want the plain pureed pumpkin, which is a super delicious and good for you.
Just out of a can?
Yep, just the canned pumpkin. It is so good. It's loaded with vitamins, antioxidants. It's just wonderful. I'm also going to fold in about a half a cup of whipped topping or whipped cream. And I have some spices too. I have a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg and ginger. So we're going to throw that in there. So it tastes like pumpkin pie, but we're losing the fat from the crust. So we have our pumpkin mousse. Ooh. I'm going to put in the dish. And then we're going to top it with a little scoop of whipped cream.
Ooh, that looks so pretty.
There you go. Ta-da! So you should look for your plate to be half vegetable, 1/4 lean protein, and 1/4 carbohydrate of some kind. So a fruit, starch mix on that other part of your plate. So you get the right balance of all the nutrients you need.
Okay. I'm hungry. When are we eating? And I am still hungry. We have a link with all those recipes on our Rex Connects blog at rexhealthblog.com. Now tell me, Diane, real quick, party strategy. You've got some secrets. Spill.
We've got some secrets. One of the things I love for people to remember is that parties, first of all, are not just food events, they're people events.
Yes.
So go with a goal to work the crowd. If it's business, network, friends, family, relationships. If it's covered dish, you be the one that takes the veggies, salad or a salad plate, so that that's available. And then peruse the table, find what's there that looks really good, new, interesting, something different. Figure out what you want ahead of time and be sure you enjoy that, but also fill your plate up half with vegetables.
Okay, and you also told me, you know, skip the cheese and crackers because you can get that at home.
If it's something you get every day, skip that. Go for what's fun. It's a holiday. It's party time.
And if, yeah, and if you're not depriving yourself. Okay.
Right.
Now, and this was also shocking to me. tell me, this is how much a serving, in 2 servings?
That is a tablespoon of peanut butter. Calorically, that is 2 servings. A serving of fat is 45 calories. So that is 100 calories. That would be 2 servings of fat.
So I have to tell you, when I'm making a sandwich for myself, there's about twice as much on there. So.
Well, and that's okay. It's just knowing calories, knowing where they are.
Okay, absolutely. Now, we still have a lot of questions here. So Johnny wants to know a way to increase hip flexor flexibility.
Stretching is a key for that one, and if this person probably is a runner or a cyclist, and looking at their kind of training, possibly cross training a little bit might be a good idea. So they're hitting the muscle groups in different angles and different positions. Again, I'll hit the pool. If they're not in the pool, that could be a great place to stretch. We run many different types of range of motions and stretch-based type classes, and or if they're not a member at Rex, they can kind of get that stuff online, and or just kind of general, just kind of practice some base stretching. But again, diligently stretching the area.
And diligently doing that. Okay, Donna, she had gastric bypass surgery and then back surgery. So exercising is challenging for her. What can she do?
Same thing, I would go back off of her doctor's guidelines, and the concept of less is more. Right now it's important that she's made some great decisions on the gastric bypass, but it's same thing with the decisions of coming back slowly, gradually taking small little steps that might attain a longer term goal or whatever it may be. If it's something that she could start with more non-weight bearing, non-active or non-weight bearing, non-impact type activities, seated bicycles, new step, things like that, that can kind of put her in a position where she can support the back and comfortably move the body, that would be great.
Okay, and this caller, Linda, says she's having problems keeping weight off. How can she lose weight and keep it off? And if you have the answer to that, let's hear it. Spill it.
Well, I really believe that weight management is a combination of effective, moderate exercise and an appropriate amount of food. It is calories in, it's calories out. And the combination of those two really is non-optional. Educating yourself about food, embracing the plate method, which we teach all the time, where about half of your volume every lunch and dinner is low-calorie veggies, and then effective, aggressive exercise. The two together are a life strategy for weight management.
Okay, so there's not one particular diet plan that you're seeing out there.
Well, it is calories in, calories out. And they keep looking at the balance of carb and fat and protein, but it truly is calories in and calories out.
Okay, so this is a snack of peanuts, but how many servings is it?
That's 2.
That is 2.
Because a serving of peanuts is 10.
Okay.
And that's 20 peanuts,
So-
once you get them out of the pod.
Okay,
Yes.
so we are all probably a little guilty of just eating too much, plain
Well,
and
and
simple.
especially in the fat group.
Yeah.
I continually educate people about appropriate servings of nuts. I mean, a serving of almonds is 6, peanuts is 10. And most
Okay.
people are shocked by that. They do handfuls.
I do handfuls.
Yes.
That's bad.
So-
Okay, we're learning something new. Okay, we're going to have a final round of questions after this break. This is Rex on Call. Welcome back to the show. This is Rex on Call. We're taking a final round of your questions. This is Nelson. He's calling for his wife, who's been exercising for 2 weeks, but she's frustrated because she hasn't seen any results. What can we tell her?
Stick with the program. Stick with the program. It takes a little time. So everybody's body reacts differently to exercise. Be thinking more of months down the road, weeks down the road, year down the road, that type of thing. But stick with the program, and or in a month or so, if she's not seeing results, maybe it's time to have the program evaluated.
Okay, and this caller wants to know, if I want to lose weight, should I do cardio or do weights?
combination of both. We follow American College of Sports Medicine guidelines pretty closely. If your goal is more weight loss, it's about calorie in, calorie out, so increasing your cardio output, working your way up to maybe 120 to 150 minutes of aerobic activity in a target zone, which is where your heart rate isn't getting the optimum benefit, and then balance that out with a balanced diet, and that's where a person will probably see the most benefit from weight loss.
Okay, and we have a lot of calls wanting to know where to purchase that handy dandy blue cushion.
It's about, actually probably an easy website is to Google active sitting. And you'll see all different types of props out there, physio balls and things like that. That is from a system, from a company called Power Systems. But just Google air-filled disc or Dynadisc, I think it's also called. But we work with Perform Better or Power Systems.
Okay. Now, there's an 81-year-old is calling and for whatever reason cannot eat leafy green vegetables. What other vegetables have that same nutritional, pack that punch?
Well, I mean, I think you should eat whatever vegetables you possibly can tolerate. I would want to find out from your doctor why that is a problem, but broccoli is not considered a leafy green vegetable, and that's great. Sweet potatoes, carrots, asparagus, they're all packed with great nutrition.
Okay.
Plenty of others.
Okay, there's plenty of other options out there for you, like I tell my 7-year-old. Okay, and as always, consult with your physician about any health concerns. Thank you so much to our wellness experts today and to our phone bank volunteers who are still taking calls right over there. Join us next month for our next Rex on Call. Our topic is heartburn, how to prevent it, how to treat it. Now that's Monday, January 20th at 1 o'clock. You can email us your questions ahead of time on heartburn. Email us at rexoncall@rexhealth.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time.
This has been a paid commercial program. Views expressed belong to its participants and are not necessarily those of the management and staff of WRAL or Capital Broadcasting Company.